Astros, some big news out of Houston. They have, if you remember, they did not re-sign their GM that just won the World Series. And they have a new general manager, Dana Brown, new GM of the reigning World Series champion Houston Astros. What a great hire. Let me just explain to everybody a brief synopsis of who Dana Brown is and why I love it so much. This guy has spent 31 years in front offices in Major League Baseball, 33 years in professional baseball. He played minor league baseball for a couple of years, gets out, goes into the front office, and has been in the front office for 31 years. His last 4 years, he has been the VP of amateur scouting for the Atlanta Braves and is responsible for the signings of Spencer Strider and Michael Harris II and some big names like that. And Vaughn Grissom, who's going to be shortstop for the Braves, Stephen Strasburg. I mean, the names go on. Ryan Zimmerman. This guy knows talent. But you might be asking, but this is a totally different job. General manager. And he has no GM experience. That is all true. But by and large, people around the game of baseball speak volumes of Dana Brown and what he is going to bring to the Houston Astros organization. So from what I've heard, he is a mixture of an analytical guy and an old school guy, which is what we need. I feel like the game of baseball was old school, and then we went heavy analytics and just having some feel kind of went out of the door. But now we're starting to get back to realizing, okay, we can't just go all analytics. Dana Brown is that guy. He was minor league. He was a teammate in college of Craig Biggio.
Oh, wow.
Who sat in the meetings with the Astros. It was Reggie Jackson was in there, Jeff Bagwell, Dusty Baker, and he was a college teammate of Craig Biggio. So really cool there. Bob Nightingale tweeted a quote from him saying, "We want to get greedy about winning." So really good hire. I like him a lot. He said he had a couple good quotes that stuck out to me. In reference to Jim Crane, he said, "He's a little high-strung, but I'm from the Northeast, so it's going to be the perfect storm."
Yeah.
And clearly, whatever the storm was brewing there last year, it worked on the field, but James Click was out the door right after winning a World Series, which is insane. But this was my favorite quote from Dana Brown. "It's tough to say there's something missing when you win a World Series.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I just want to come in and be part of it and do what I do, which is acquire players, get them signed long-term, develop players, communicate well with the staff, and build a winning tradition where people can grow and be themselves." And a couple things stick out to me there, which is acquire players. He's done a great job of that. Most recently, Strider and Harris. Get them signed long-term. It's the Braves' way.
Yeah.
Look what they've done with Strider and Harris and Albies and Acuna and Austin Riley. It's the Braves' way. And communicate well with staff. All of those other things he said are just icing on the cake. It's great. But you look around. I bet you Jeremy Pena is signed to a pretty long-term deal here before the season starts.
Yeah, he said all the right things in the presser. And I always try to pick up on the energy and the feel. And he felt so comfortable and confident sitting there talking to the press, having a plan in place. And as you just read his quote, his specialty is finding that young talent and going out and making a team. He knows he's walking into a winning culture.
Yeah.
You're going to the defending champs. Yeah. He's very well aware of that. He played against them in the 2021 World Series.
True.
So I think another important thing that he mentioned is he wants it to be a place where players can be themselves, because that's an extremely important part of the game as well. And especially for players' mental state and mental health is like, you want to go out there and you want to play the game, but you also want to make it your own and be yourself. And to know you have that support from the high ups and the front office is only going to help this organization be even better than they already are.
So it's going to be interesting. He is a guy that signs good talent and likes to do it long-term. And Jim Crane on the other side is a guy that doesn't typically love the long-term deals. He'll sign guys, but I don't think he doesn't really go above those 5-6 year marks. And I bet you he'd come in and say, I want to sign Jeremy Pena to a 10-year deal with a lower AAV. So it's going to be interesting, those two. And as Dana Brown has said, it's going to be the perfect storm. Astros runner-up for GM, Brad Ausmus.
Interesting.
We don't need to talk much about that, but I think they made the right choice. So Astros get their guy, Dana Brown, new general manager.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.